Yesterday, Jedrick Wills, who was inactive for the Browns' last game, spoke about the decision for him not to play against the Ravens.
I decided myself that I made a business decision not to play after the Bengals game, going into that Ravens game because I was injured. And then the next week was when I received the news. So, I got hyperextended on the very first play. I kind of felt it, but we were going up on the ball and everybody was getting set. So I was like, well, I'll stay in if it hurts later and I got to come out, then it is what it is. But I ended up finishing the game. The next day I got some treatment and stuff, and my knee was really swollen. I couldn't really bend it, so played out the week how it went, and I wasn't ready for game time, so I didn't end up playing. Early on in the week, it was just more kind of like they evaluated what it was. I had a lot of fluid in there. I had to get drained. I had some swelling. I had some damage to my cartilage, and I have a bone bruise that I've been dealing with since last year. So they just kind of evaluated it. I didn't practice the first 2 days that were full speed, and then we had a padded practice. I didn't practice. I tried to do some stuff on the Friday. Didn't feel good. And then they just declared me as inactive after that Friday practice. I think upset isn't a good word to use. I would say it's more frustrating, but it's not my decision. I can only do what I can do. So.
With that, let's welcome in Fred Greetham, senior analyst for the Orange and Brown Report. Fred, it's not a great look because there are questions. You see the video. I'm sure you've seen it, where Jedrick's not really playing to the end of the whistle. The one thing about him that I've said, when he's healthy, when he's completely healthy, he's an adequate left tackle. When he gets banged up at all, he can't really play. And if you can't play banged up in the NFL as a lineman, you probably can't play very long in the NFL.
No, and you see how many guys are injured on the Browns, and how much they've missed, especially on the offensive line the last few years. And you think of Joe Thomas, he never missed a snap until like his last year, and then he knew that was the end of the line. It's like, these guys are all playing through, different things. And I appreciated Jedrick being candid. You don't really want to criticize somebody when they're candid with you, but I think in the locker room, those words might not go over well. Business decision, because it sounds like then you decided not to play. We know how the Browns have, they give no information at all. They leave everybody hanging on the injuries. We have no idea how severe it is. Everybody's day to day, week to week's about the best you can get. And it sounds like he just declared that I can't go. I don't know if the trainers said, I think you can play. And he said, no, I'm not going to. But he's going to have to live with that decision. This isn't like Little League where, oh, you don't lose your position because of an injury. It's obvious when he was missing time, when I think James Hudson was his replacement, when he was able to go, he went right back in because they felt he was better right away. Now, when he's ready to come back now, I think they feel like they're getting at least as good a play, if not better, out of DeJuan Jones. And you have him, only in the second year of his rookie contract. And you have some upside there that maybe you have found your left tackle long term. And that would take a huge burden off because Wells is a free agent. He's in the last year of the fifth-year option. A lot of people were surprised they picked up the fifth-year option, 13, 14 million guaranteed. I think the biggest thing with him is because he was the 10th pick in the draft. Everybody expected, kind of like a Joe Thomas or a perennial Pro Bowler. He had 57 starts in his first, since he's been here. Every time he was active, he started. That game that he returned, I think it was before the Chargers game, was the first game he was active that he didn't start. So, this could be a wake-up call for him. Somebody asked me if they thought that he was, just kind of sticking to the Browns. I say, I don't see how you can do that because you're wanting to be a free agent, whether it's here with the Browns getting an extension or another team, and you certainly haven't put enough on the table this year to make somebody, give you the big bucks. somebody will sign him if he becomes a free agent, but I'm not going to be shocked if he does get back in the lineup because we've watched the Browns long enough to know how many guys seem to get injured on the offensive line and whether Conklin or Jones needs somebody to replace, he's going to be the guy to step in. It's kind of ironic, that he was a right tackle. They moved him to left tackle, and Jones was a right tackle, and they moved him to left tackle, and so who knows what's going to happen? But I think that's kind of like the Wally Pipp scenario where he sat out, Lou Gehrig stepped in, and the rest was history.